What if the person you trusted the most betrayed you in the worst way? In this heart-wrenching moment, Emmerdale's Tracy faces the consequences of her actions as secrets unravel and friendships shatter. Don't miss the emotional fallout that will leave you breathless. Stay tuned to witness the moment that changes everything. It was heartbreaking. Amy Walsh opens up about Tracy's crushing public betrayal in Emmerdale. There are moments in Emmerdale that stay with you long after the credits roll, and this week's explosive scenes between Tracy Robinson and her sister Vanessa Woodfield are exactly that. At the heart of it, a gut-wrenching betrayal, a desperate secret, and a relationship put to the ultimate test. Amy Walsh, who plays Tracy, recently sat down to share everything about the emotional storm brewing in the Dales. And trust us, she didn't hold back. If you've ever made a mistake out of pure desperation, or watched a sibling relationship unravel in real time, this one's going to hit you right in the heart. A sister's secret, shattered in public. Let's rewind. In Thursday's April 10 episode, viewers watched in stunned silence as Tracy's secret came tumbling out at the worst possible moment, in the worst possible place, the center of the Woolpack. It all starts with Tracy already drowning under the pressure of trying to keep her head above water. She's been stealing from her boss, Eric Pollard, taking money meant for the till at the village shop. Not out of malice, but from a place of deep financial desperation. She's a single mom trying to survive, and in her mind, this was a necessary evil. She's ready to confess to Vanessa, hoping for support, maybe even a plan to fix things. But what she doesn't expect is for Vanessa, drunk, heartbroken, and emotionally raw, to blow the lid off everything. Right there, in front of Eric, and half the village. What happens next is devastating. Eric, already sick and vulnerable, looks utterly shattered. Tracy, she can barely breathe. It's not Tracy's finest moment. Amy Walsh gets real. For Amy Walsh, playing the scene was anything but easy. Tracy's first comment to Vanessa is that Eric didn't deserve this, she explains. In her brain, Vanessa has made him look like a fool. And that's where it gets truly layered. Tracy wasn't just trying to cover her tracks to save herself, she was actually trying to protect Eric in a twisted sort of way. To her, quietly making things right would have been less painful for everyone. Less humiliating for Eric, less damaging for their fragile trust. It's quite a complex and twisted narrative for her, Amy admits. But that's the way she's got through it. It's not her proudest moment, but it's born out of desperation. She's a single mom just trying to do right by her kid. People do crazy things when they're scared and broke. And isn't that just the truth? Tracy's story is painfully relatable. How many times have we all tried to handle it ourselves, just to keep the people we love from getting hurt, even if it means making things worse? It gets nasty and tearful, the scene that broke them. Amy and Michelle Hardwick, Vanessa, have always had incredible on-screen chemistry. But this scene, Amy says, took things to a whole new emotional level. The scenes were so fun to film, she reveals. It's usually Tracy being the leery one and Vanessa calming her down, so it was really nice to see the dynamic flip. Vanessa, who's normally the steady one, is coming apart at the seams herself. She's dealing with her own heartbreak, and it all erupts at once. The anger, the betrayal, the years of tension. All of it bursts out in a single moment of reckless rage. She gets so much anger in her belly and shows that feisty side, Amy says. We've always known it's there, but Vanessa keeps it locked up until she's really pushed. And when that volcano erupts, it's messy, raw, and unforgettable. It does get a bit nasty and tearful, Amy admits. We had to really go there when we were filming. It was heartbreaking. Fans can expect some of the most intense, emotionally charged acting from these two brilliant performers. You'll feel the pain, the betrayal, the devastation, and above all, the love underneath it all, the deep, complicated, sisterly bond that somehow still exists, even when everything else falls apart. He's crushed. Eric's pain runs deep. Then there's Eric. Watching the revelation unfold, he doesn't yell. He doesn't lash out. But you see it in his face, the sheer weight of disappointment, the shock of being lied to by someone he trusted, and the heartbreak of realizing it wasn't just a mistake, it was a choice Tracy made again and again. Eric's reaction in that moment is awful for Tracy, Amy says softly. That's the first moment where she really sees the repercussions of her actions. What she's done to this old, sick man. It's pretty dark stuff, really. And it's that contrast between Tracy's intentions and the actual consequences that makes the whole storyline so haunting. She never set out to hurt Eric, but the damage is undeniable. It's a turning point for Eric, for Tracy, for their entire little corner of the Dales. I absolutely love working with Michelle, real-life bond behind the scenes, off-camera, the dynamic couldn't be more different. Amy gushes about working with Michelle Hardwick, who plays Vanessa. I absolutely love working with Michelle, she says with a smile. The dynamic between the two sisters is so great, they're so different that you can tell they're cut from the same cloth. It's a big reason why the on-screen drama hits so hard. That real-life warmth and trust between the actors allows them to dig deeper, go darker, and still keep the heart of the story intact. And at the end of the day, that's what Emmerdale does best, telling human stories through flawed but deeply relatable characters, played by actors who care just as much as the fans do. What comes next for Tracy and Vanessa? With the secret out, the fallout is going to be massive. Will Eric ever be able to forgive Tracy? Can their working relationship, or any kind of relationship, survive this betrayal? And what about Tracy and Vanessa? This wasn't just a sisterly slip-up. It was a public exposure, a moment of humiliation that's going to leave scars on both sides. If there's one thing we know about Emmerdale, it's that redemption isn't easy. Trust has to be earned back, slowly, painfully, and sometimes the damage is too deep. But Amy hints that Tracy's journey isn't over just yet. She's still the same person at her core, a good person who made a bad call. And maybe, just maybe, she'll find a way to make things right. Fans are already rallying around the character, many of whom understand exactly what it's like to feel trapped, cornered, and judged for a desperate decision. Because at the end of the day, haven't we all been there in some way? The bigger picture, why this story matters. This storyline is more than just a dramatic twist. It's a mirror, showing us the ways we fail, the ways we hurt each other, and the long, messy road back to forgiveness. It's about sisterhood, about trust, about survival. It's about how sometimes the people we love most are the ones who hurt us the worst, but also the ones who might just help us heal. So the next time you find yourself watching Tracy break down in the middle of the wool pack, remember, this isn't just soap drama, it's storytelling with soul, and it's being brought to life by a cast that understands the weight of every word, every tear, every fractured relationship. As Amy Walsh said it best, it's not Tracy's finest moment, but it's real, and that's why it matters.